up on News Channel 11 this morning, double trouble for one Tri-City school district dealing with 2 bus accidents in just 1 week.
Plus, Medicaid expansion continues to be a hot-button issue across our region. Here are the most recent updates of lawmakers and business owners alike.
We're tracking plenty of clouds, a little bit of shower activity just to our south. I think most of this will miss us this morning, but we have some wintry cold on the way, some cold temperatures. We'll talk about that in the Storm Team 11 forecast next.
You're watching News Channel 11 in your corner this morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is 6 a.m. and today's Tuesday, February 25th.
We are into the second day of this work week, getting ready to crank it up. Interstate 26 looks hustle and a bustle this morning. Remember, if you're near exit 13, got to slow down a little bit if you're coming from Kingsport because of that construction zone. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes. A very busy news day. We're glad you started it with us here. I'm Casey Marler.
And I'm Anna Zuck. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to head straight over to meteorologist Jeremy Eisensoff. Jeremy, it was cold yesterday. Does this mean the winter weather is here to stay this week?
Just for a couple of days, guys. I also want to point out you were this close to getting me on your camera of singing Beaver Fever behind the scenes.
Yep.
That almost made the WJHL
I
Facebook
missed
page.
my chance. I'm kicking myself right now.
That was your one opportunity to see that, but maybe some other opportunities. We'll
maybe
have
an
to check
encore.
Out.
I have no doubt there will be plenty of opportunities in this studio now and in the future.
Oh. All right.
I gotta have my phone
Quick
ready.
Draw here keeps Jeremy and I on our toes during commercial breaks.
All right, plenty safe here, guys. Let's chat weather, why don't we? Shall we? Looking at some clouds moving on through this morning, and we have a little bit of rain activity down to our south. I think most of this will miss us for the morning hours. And so temperatures rather seasonable this morning. 33 Abingdon, 33 in the Tri-Cities, 30 in the clouds in Wise. Most of us sitting in the low 30s now, whether you're in Tennessee, Virginia, or Kentucky, or even Western North Carolina. Your forecast looking at a little disturbance moving through, and that'll produce more clouds. So mainly cloudy this morning. As that system heads east of us by noontime and this afternoon, look for a little sunshine developing here. So I think it's a little bit more in the way of sunshine for the second half of our Tuesday versus what we're seeing right now. So here's your forecast. Mostly in the 30s. We'll start off jumping into the low 40s by noon and topping off in the upper 40s near 50 degrees. Very similar to yesterday. Then comes some cold weather settling in here for just a brief period. Looks like by Wednesday, guys, we're going to see some very cold air. Wednesday night, we're talking some teens. The good news is springtime makes a quick return by the weekend. More on those changes coming up.
There's always good news. All right. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
2 school bus accidents in less than 1 week. Now those bus drivers responsible are not facing any criminal charges.
Of those 2 accidents, a total of 27 students were sent to the hospital. Last Thursday, 23 Ketron Elementary students were injured after 2 school buses collided along Bloomingdale Road. One bus rear-ended another bus after the driver got distracted. That happened when a student pulled an emergency lever and the alarm sounded. Then on Monday, the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office said 4 other students found themselves in the hospital after the driver of another Sullivan County school bus misjudged a turn off Cardinal Road onto Newland Avenue, and one of the bus's wheels plunged into a ditch. Although the injuries sustained by the students were minor, News Channel 11's Mike Lamia found out some parents say enough is enough.
The images may seem familiar. Shots of first responders pushing an elementary student out on a gurney. But for the second time in less than a week, a school bus accident sent Ketron Elementary students to the hospital. For parents, one incident was too much.
He'll probably never ride the bus again.
Chrissy Reed's son and 2 stepdaughters go to Ketron Elementary.
It's very scary knowing that your kids ride the bus.
Last week, 2 Sullivan County school buses loaded with Ketron Elementary students collided, sending nearly 24 students to the hospital. And on Monday afternoon, a 3rd bus veered off the road.
The bus went around the corner and the wheels went through a dip and the kids bounced in their seat and bumped heads.
4 students complained to the bus driver about neck and head pain. Since the school was less than a mile away, the driver opted to turn around and head back to Ketron.
Decided that it was best to err on the side of safety.
The students were quickly treated and released. But still, Sullivan County Assistant Superintendent Gene Johnson admits that 2 bus crashes in less than a week.
It's always unnerving. The most important thing we do is take care of our kids. And anytime that you have an accident that has potential for injury, it's unnerving, yes.
But Reed says she's taking her children's safety into her own hands.
Since the bus wreck last week, I have been bringing my son to school instead of letting him ride the bus because I don't want anything happening to my kid.
Monday's accident involved a different driver from a different bus company and a different route from Thursday's accident. Dr. Johnson says the school officials will look closely into each situation individually and see if there's room for improvement. The debate on school bus seatbelts no doubt will be a hot topic in weeks to come, and the Board of Education no doubt will talk about that in the upcoming weeks. We will keep you posted on the latest developments.
A routine fire drill sends one Kingsport City school into lockdown after a student found a bullet. On Monday at Dobbins-Bennett High School, a student found a bullet and turned it into a teacher. That prompted the school to go into lockdown to allow Kingsport police to search the building. The procedure was just a precaution and nobody was ever in danger. No weapons were found and the lockdown was lifted just an hour later. Unicoi County will have one less teacher in the classroom this morning. While it's still unclear who the teacher is or why they are under investigation, Unicoi County Director of Schools Denise Brown confirmed a Unicoi County teacher is suspended without pay, and the sheriff's office is part of the investigation. We'll keep you updated on the latest in this developing story.
Police continue to search this morning for a 19-year-old man who has been missing for over 2 weeks. Police say Jeremy Taylor Kazin was last seen in Johnson City on February 7th. Investigators say he has a number of tattoos on his body, including his last name tattooed on the inside of his left forearm from his elbow to his wrist, and a tattoo on the outside of the left forearm of a skull with a knife through it. Police would release no other information. The department's Criminal Investigation Unit is asking for your calls regarding any information on Kazin's whereabouts at the number right there in the middle of the screen.
Taking a look at our eye on politics this morning, Tennessee's governor could soon face a legislative roadblock for Medicaid expansion in the volunteer state. Republican Governor Bill Haslam spoke with the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius and asked her about the state's request to use federal money to subsidize private insurance. Haslam says he asked her, quote, "Why don't you come back to us with a proposal that you think will work?" Haslam's office says expanding Medicaid under the federal health care law would cover around 180,000 Tennesseans, but he'll have to wait it out. The Tennessee House of Representatives voted Monday to require the governor to get the General Assembly's expressed approval before expanding Medicaid. A similar bill is expected to pass in the Senate.
Medicaid expansion, also a hot topic of debate in Virginia. But Virginia lawmakers aren't the only ones at odds over the expansion. Business groups in the Commonwealth are also standing divided on this issue. The Virginia Chamber of Commerce and state business leaders say accepting federal funds would boost the state's economy. But the state director for the National Federation of Independent Businesses says 5,500 small business owners overwhelmingly oppose an expansion. The governor of Virginia supports the Medicaid expansion. Most Republican state lawmakers don't, saying expanding Medicaid to about 400,000 Virginians needs more review before taking on such a large-scale expansion. If your commute includes driving down Interstate 26, be prepared to pump your brakes this morning near the construction to widen the highway. The speed limit has dropped from 70 to 60 miles per hour. We spoke with TDOT, and they say that change will be in effect until July of 2015. When the construction project is complete. In the meantime, TDOT asking drivers to be aware of the speed limit change and be aware of workers in that area.
Kingsport residents may want to brew an extra cup of coffee while you can still. This morning, 30 a.m., people living in Hiwassee Drive and on Hiwassee Circle in Kingsport will have their water shut off until around 11:30. The city says homeowners would shut off their water heater to prevent any possible damage.
And one more water outage this morning for residents on the other side of Johnson City, this time Elizabethton. Folks should plan to have their water shut off around 9 a.m. this morning. This affects the Lynn Valley area from Elizabethton's city limits to Crawford Drywall.
A local sheriff says it's communication that's lacking between his department and other organizations that's leaving one family without a home.
It all stems from a case where 2 people are facing several meth-related charges and a Carter County family has been displaced. Travis Hodge and Courtney Williams were arrested on February 7th. According to deputies, the couple went to the home off Blue Springs Road and started cooking meth inside a family's bathroom. Sheriff Chris Mathis says through their investigation, the homeowners had nothing to do with the illegal activity, but their home had to be decontaminated, and they still can't spend the night in their own home. Because of that, Mathis tried to get a nonprofit organization to step in and help the family out, but the sheriff said he had no luck. News Channel 11's Lauren Havlin has the details from Carter County.
Meth busts have become rather common in Carter County.
We had to decontaminate everyone inside the house. It was definitely from the meth lab, it was a toxic scene.
But nothing else about the situation on February 7th at a home on Blue Springs Road was ordinary.
This was the first that I've ever encountered in my career that they were just, the people that lived there were the victims.
When someone is displaced, the sheriff's office calls 911 dispatchers to get help through organizations like Red Cross.
The Red Cross was notified.
Even though people had been cooking meth at the home, Mathis thought, just like other families who were displaced, they would get certain accommodations through Red Cross.
You could identify that have not been participating in a crime. I think it's our job to make every attempt to try to help people.
Mathis says he encountered another first in his career that night.
Whether it was a loophole, miscommunication, or whatever, they did not get assistance that night.
Red Cross officials say every situation is different, and this family included should have gotten assistance.
I don't know exactly the circumstances, if it was just a missed the family type thing or a communication issue there. But
Mathis isn't stopping there. He wants to make sure it doesn't happen to another family in Carter County.
I've already addressed this with our EMA director, Andrew Worley. He typically deals in these type of situations with Red Cross. I think that just some good communications, we can get this worked out.
Officials with the Red Cross agree.
it may be a case of following back up and seeing, what the family may need.
Until everything is cleaned up, the homeowners off Blue Springs Road will be staying with friends and family.
As for Travis Hodge and Courtney Williams, their next step will be in a Carter County courtroom. We will keep you updated on the status of their hearings.
Well, 4 years after newly elected county commissioners in one part of the region were outraged about the benefit package their colleagues received, a public records request revealed 2 of those people now receive some of those benefits. So who are they and why the change of heart? Well, we'll have the answer tonight at 6 in a community watchdog investigation.
We have breaking news this morning. We have now received information of a shooting in Washington County, Virginia. It happened near Hillman Highway in the Glade Springs area. That is north of Abingdon. There in the Glade Springs, Hillman Highway is actually the highway that runs parallel to Interstate 81. News Channel 11's Lauren Havlin is on her way to the scene right now, and we will hope to bring you the very latest on the developments of a reported shooting near Glade Springs, Virginia on Hillman Highway.
Breaking news this morning. We've received reports of a shooting in Washington County, Virginia.
Report came in about 5 o'clock. We're told it happened near Hillman Highway in the Glade Springs area of Virginia. News Channel 11's Lauren Havlin is on the scene. Lauren, what can you tell us?
Hey, good morning, guys. Like you said, breaking news. We are on actually Graceland Avenue. As you can see, several police presence. There's police officers right here on scene. Right now, we do not know anything, but we just did confirm there is a shooting, like you said, but we will continue to update you through the morning. Police officers just said we'll just give them a couple minutes that they will talk to us. From what we hear, it's been a very chaotic scene over here. Like we said, breaking news, shooting, several police cars from the Washington County Sheriff's Office, Virginia State Police, Glade Spring Police. Very little information is available right now, but we're about to go talk to police and we'll make sure to bring you guys the latest updates. Live in Washington County, Virginia, Lauren Havlin, News Channel 11 in your corner.
All right, thank you, Lauren Havland, live out on the scene this morning. And we have breaking news this morning. We've received reports of a shooting in Washington County, Virginia.
We're told it happened near Hillman Highway in Glade Springs, Virginia. News Channel 11's Lauren Havland is on the scene with the very latest. Hi, Lauren.
Good morning, you guys. I'm at Grace Avenue in Glade Springs, Virginia. There are several police present, state police, Washington County, Virginia police are also on scene. You can see right behind me, police have been talking all morning. At this home right behind me, you can see police tape, and the sheriff, Fred Newman, is over there, as well as his fellow deputies. Very little information is available. Like you said earlier, we have confirmed that it is a shooting, and it has been very chaotic over here. Several ambulances, police presence. We'll continue to update you throughout the morning. Police just said to myself that they will talk to us here in just a couple minutes. So as you're watching CBS this morning, we'll be continuing to update you. Back to you guys in the studio.
Make sure you stay tuned to News Channel 11 all morning long as we bring you updates on this breaking development out of Southwest Virginia in the area of Glade Springs, Virginia. A shooting early this morning. Call came in around 5 a.m. News Channel 11's Lauren Havland is on the scene getting ready to talk to sheriff's deputies about this incident in Washington County, Virginia, and Anna will have updates on that throughout the morning during our cut-ins. For all of us here at News Channel 11, the production crew behind the scenes, thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.